Hello, this is Rick Saltarelli with Salty Breeze Cruise Planners with this week's segment of Beyond Your Front Door. And today I have Karen Leonard with me, and she is the Travel Industry Ambassador with Special Needs Group. So Karen, welcome to our segment today.
Well, thank you so much, Rick. I really appreciate the opportunity to meet with your followers and just share some information that I think is sorely needed out there. So thanks again for the opportunity.
And I'm glad that you said that because although people that work within the travel industry know who Special Needs Group is, a lot of people don't. So why don't you tell us and take all the time that you need to tell us about Special Needs Group?
Well, thank you again. Special Needs Group has been around for over 13 years. What we primarily do is we provide special needs equipment rentals for people that want to travel. And we are in 215 metropolitan areas in 68 countries around the world. So we can work with almost anyone that has, special, just extra considerations that they need to be taken care of when they travel and explore the world. Most people, as you know, probably don't know that we exist. So that's why I'm so grateful for you to let me come on and speak. I do want to say one more thing that you may not be aware of, and that is during this trying time, we've had to do a quick pivot. So we also offer COVID-19 products for sale, something new.
Yeah, I did see that on your website, and that may be something that will be with us for a long time. So it's good to know that those products are still available.
True.
And so we know that Special Needs Group does provide all of those things that people need when they're traveling so they don't have to bring it from home. So
Right.
It's a great product offering and you've been a great partner. Tell me, what kind of drew you to this company in the first place?
Well, my story is kind of interesting. I started out in travel almost 14 years ago, actually closer to 15, I guess. And I started out as a coach, as a sales coach to independent franchise owners and independent contractors. And I taught them how to market themselves and things like that. So I did that for a while. I also was a travel advisor. And when I was a travel advisor, well, actually during the time I was a coach as well, I became familiar with Special Needs Group as a partner of mine. And once I became a travel advisor, my company went through some changes and unfortunately I got downsized and I realized that Special Needs Group had an opening and I thought, oh yay. I knew who they were. I knew what the company was capable of. I knew, the kind of services they provided. And so I jumped at the chance to join their team and I've been with them for over 2 years now and I love it. I just love it.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's good to be attracted to some company that has some great value and adds great value to travelers. We've come to realize over time that we have clients that need those extra aids to daily living, and they may not want to bring their scooter from North America if they're going to the Mediterranean. Or perhaps they have a temporary situation in their life and think they have to cancel their vacation plans. Not so. These are products that they can rent just for the duration of their vacation. So it's an awesome segment for us to be able to add for our clients, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And also there are people that maybe just don't use equipment at home that don't realize how active they might want to be when they're on vacation. So that's another opportunity for people to think about. Somebody that maybe kind of lives close to home can use a scooter and really just enjoy life and have a great time on vacation without worrying that they're going to slow down their traveling companions. And that's a big relief for them as well. So
Sure. And so what would be one or two products that people might be very surprised to know is available for them to rent?
well, we have a whole host of things that we rent that people aren't aware of, but some of the things, just to kind of quickly go through, of course, we have the mobility assistance, but we also have shower and bath needs, but we do things on special request, and that can sometimes be really surprising. So we can do cribs in certain cases. We can do pack and plays for families. We've even sourced organic baby food before and a particular kind of dog food for a gentleman who had a service animal who needed a particular kind of food and he couldn't find it in Europe where he was. So we were able to find it for him. So you just never know.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. I'll have to add that to my repertoire of things to.
Right, dog food.
And so a lot of our clients, of course, travel in North America, where we have the regulations, the ADA. But there are other countries that don't really have those same standards. But do you have a perhaps a couple of ports or countries that you're aware of that really are good for people that have accessibility needs to go and travel to that outside of the United States?
I will tell you that, yes, that is a challenge for people with special needs to go to certain countries. But as long as they're aware of the limitations, they can still enjoy themselves. That being said, I think the Caribbean nations do fairly well. They don't have the older infrastructure, so they don't have necessarily the cobblestone streets and the um, uh, no ramps and curb cuts. They have accommodated those things. So definitely the Caribbean, but also think of U.S. territories, because they do have to follow ADA, and people don't think about that. So even states like Hawaii, people don't think, oh, well, I can go there and, it's still part of the United States, or Puerto Rico. People don't think that they can have their luxury vacation in Hawaii and need accessibility equipment. So it's very true. You just have to ask us. As I said, we operate in 215 cities around the world. So we're more than happy to see if we can help you.
Sure, and I'm glad you mentioned that again. That's twice you mentioned it. So it makes me think about this question. We often think about special needs group for people that are going on cruises, but it's more than just cruises. You can help people that are going to a city for a convention, for what we'll just call land-based travel, correct?
Absolutely. We work with resorts, we work with hotels, we work with convention centers. Again, all you need to do is just give us a call. Some places, I'm not going to say we can do everything everywhere, but we're always looking to grow. So hopefully we can work something out for you if you are interested in traveling somewhere. If you work with Rick and plan a great travel trip, let me know. See if I can help. I'm more than happy to.
Okay, well, we appreciate that. I was sharing with our call that everybody in our organization, in our agency, are all certified um, accessible travel advocates. And we try to talk about that with everybody, but sometimes we miss. So maybe you could just talk very quickly about your certification program, because I think it really identifies us as an agency that really wants to work with those with the mobility requirements. So maybe just let people know what that certification program is all about.
Absolutely. And thanks again for all being certified. That means the world to me, because that means that you're committed to helping people with special needs discover the world and, just really get out and enjoy the things that maybe they never thought they could. The certification itself is a 3-part certification. And you may not realize this, but it is recognized by the federal government, by the way, as a true certification. It has 3 parts. The first part talks about really the scope of the market and how many people there are that have disabilities and special needs that unfortunately are probably not getting service because they themselves don't understand that services are available. So it really talks about that. It talks about the Americans with Disabilities Act, so that each person who takes the certification understands that a little bit more. And the second piece really kind of goes more into the equipment, so that people who take the certification have a working knowledge of what's available and how it's used, so that you as a consumer, if you're coming to Rick or one of his partners or associates and asking for travel, you can be certain that they have some knowledge of what it is you need, even though maybe you aren't sure. So you're one of those folks that doesn't use equipment, they're going to be comfortable in discussing it with you. If you have your own equipment, they're going to be just comfortable in discussing with you a comparable piece, if that's what you want to do, however it is you want to work with. And then the third one, I think, is really important for those travel advisors that take it, because it's really a practical module in talking and hearing conversations, so that advisor, such as Rick and his team, they've learned how to communicate with special needs and disability folks that treats them with respect and dignity that they're looking for, but yet doesn't treat them any differently than anyone else, if you know what I mean. They don't want extra special treatment. They just want to have this variable taken care of just like all the other variables. So I think that helps. It also talks about marketing. And so, you know, to the public, this team right here has a lot of information that is going to help you feel comfortable in using their services for travel. Because I'm going to tell you, having been a travel advisor myself, a coach for a number of years, if you're not comfortable while you're traveling, it just throws the whole thing out, doesn't it? It just makes the whole thing have a negative tinge to it. So starting from the beginning, knowing that you're working with somebody who knows what they're talking about, who has experience, who has the right terminology to help you feel comfortable, I think that's so crucial in building that first step.
Well, thank you very much. We like to share with you that disability is not inability.
That's correct.
We live in a very accessible world, and we want people to feel comfortable that they can travel just like everybody else can. And we can help make that possible through the services of a company like Special Needs Group. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And I'm going to close with my final question. It's the one I love to ask the most. If you were not doing what you're doing today, working with Special Needs Group, what do you think you would be doing?
You know, I've thought long and hard about this question because travel is such an indigenous part of my bloodstream. I really don't know. The thing that popped in my mind is probably I would retire early to some, you know, isolated island and just enjoy myself on the beach. Especially now, I think with these conditions that we're all living under, that sounds really great.
Well, that would be a very noble thing to do, very interesting. But something tells me you have too much passion for travel.
Yeah, I really do.
You would end up doing something.
Yeah, I would find a way to be involved in tourism or travel or something, you know, just to help people. I want people. I've been fortunate to be able to travel some and just to experience a different culture and a different environment is just, it's so incredible in opening up your mind. You know, we become so egocentric and so I don't mean self-centered in a negative way, but we become so concentrated on our own little lives that we forget that other people survive every day just like we do. And they have similar tastes and similar desires, but yet they also have historical influences and familial influences, and understanding how that impacts their lifestyle and their lives as well as ours is just, it's so empowering. And so I really want people to be able to learn about that and to express desire and not feel self-conscious about being able to go out and experience those kinds of things.
Sure. And so I want to thank you for being on our segment today. So once again, it's Karen Leonard. She is with Special Needs Group. And this is Rick Saltarelli with Cruise Planners. We're available at 888-332-8202, and we help create lifelong lasting memories.